Hey, welcome back to the next chapter of this 1940 Ford 9N tractor we're restoring. The last video we did on this, we went through and rebuilt the whole front end on this. We went through and put new kingpin bushings in it, replaced one of the spindles, put new tie rod ends, replaced the center axle bushing in it, went through and cleaned all the wheel hubs and put new grease seals in it, and that front end turned out really nice on this. Now the next part we're going to do, this is not going to be a not so fun job to do. We're going to do the brakes on this. This tractor's had some brake issues with it, and I'm not a fan of doing brakes on these 9N and 2N tractors. That's because be honest with you, I think Mr. Ford's designers that designed these tractors, they could have come up with something a little bit better and make it a little easier for the farmer that's got to do brake jobs on his tractors. What I don't like about these is when you do the brakes, you got to pull the whole axle and drum out to get to the shoes on, and that is just terrible. Now, they did get a little bit easier to do on the later models and with the 8N, the Jubilee, and up in the NAA. So we'll get started on this and see how many curse words I can throw at this tractor doing the brakes. Before we got to start, we got to get all these bolts loose here, and we'll see how difficult these pop loose. They've been on there a while. Spray these down with some PB Blaster. Oh, that one came right loose. That's a miracle. Well, this part's going okay so far. I'm using my hand wrench to take these nuts off. I'll go ahead and get all these bolts off and we'll come back to the next part. Alright, got all 6 of those nuts off. Now, next step is I gotta be able to tap this drum out and hopefully it comes off easy. Because sometimes they don't. Oh, it's trying to. It's coming loose. It's got to be patient with it. Definitely taking a minute. There we go. Good night. There's that. And you got to slide this drum and axle out of it. Oh, I think this is a dumb design. Oh, not the heaviest thing. Whew. All right. Yeah. Yep. Well, as you can see, all the grease that got into this drum, those shoes are completely shot on this. So, I have to replace the axle seals on this. That would be why the brakes were so crappy on this, and I imagine the other side's no better. There, we got all those nuts loose on this side. See if this side comes off any better. Well, this side ain't coming off any easier. Not that I'm surprised. This side was definitely worse. I had to work probably a good solid 15 minutes on loosening this thing, just working it back and forth. And when I bring you over here, and I'll show you why. I knew I was in trouble with this when I had the brakes backed all the way off on this. I'm hitting it on both sides and it's still fighting me. I'll come get you guys here, and this one is worse than the other side. It's no wonder why I didn't have brakes on this. Axle seals are blown out, and tractors can't stop on oily, greasy brake shoes, can they? It's like, wow, check this out, how all that, it's all grease and caked. The shoes are just completely shot and saturated with oil. Here's your drum. Wow. Now the next step we got to do disassembling this is we got to get these backing plates off and your brake rod and mechanisms. So what I'm going to have to do is get the clutch rod disassembled on this in order to pull this off. There's just a regular clevis pin that goes through here to get your clutch rod off. Sometimes they can be frozen on there, so I go to my friend Liquid Wrench for tough tasks like this. So now I'm just trying to take a pair of vice grips on here to get that clevis pin spinning in there to get that loose. Sometimes you just might have to take and heat these up as well with a torch. Because a lot of times you'll take and start beating those pins out, you'll bend that clevis fork. It's not the end of the world if we do bend it. You can replace them, but I just undid the clutch rod up at the clutch arm out there. This one here is in a hard to get to spot, and I'm not having a lot of luck getting it loose right now. So this will get this drop down. Just simply take and lift it down when you do this. That drops all that brake arm and clutch arm assembly down. Then just got to get the flip this over. And get that clutch rod out of there. That's going to be a problem. This one here is not coming off very easily. There we go. Well, this is what I'm talking about. How sometimes these forks will bend. I'm not quite sure if you can see it or not. We're going to replace this anyway because this pin right here is worn. You can see it right there. And I'll see if this other side will come off just as easy. What there is a little nub on this brake shaft that goes inside that axle housing. We just got to get that worked out of there in order to set this backing plate assembly down. Yep, she's moving. Come on. Come on. Finally. Well, you can definitely see what I'm talking about, why I do not like doing brakes on these Ford 9N and 2N tractors. It's a lot of daggone work, isn't it? You got to practically disassemble the whole rear end to do this. Yeah, I definitely got to give Harry Ferguson and Henry Ford the big thumbs up for this design. It definitely was a lot easier when they made it, so all you had to do was pull the drums off to get to the brakes to do it, wasn't it? Now the next thing I got to do on this is I got to get this brake rod so I can get this out in order to go through and clean all this up nice and do the shoes. But as well, I got to take and get these foot brakes off of this as well. These are on keys that slide in there, so I can clean all this up. And a lot of this stuff is seized down here, like you got a collar that goes on this brake rod that keeps your rod from going in and out. Someone in his lifetime put a nail in there and that's broke off in there, so that's going to be a real treat getting that off. So I'm going to go work at this for a while. I have no idea how long this is going to take, but when I come back, we'll be on to the next part. All right, well, it's only been a few minutes for you guys on this, but it's been about 45 minutes for me getting all this apart, getting those brake rods and mechanisms all tore apart on this in order to get this in pieces where I can start getting stuff cleaned up and preparing this to start putting the brakes back together on this. Now, as far as this sleeve that goes on this brake rod like so, that holds that into the backing plate, I ended up having to take my plasma cutter and zip that in half to get it off. It was just so seized in there and it wasn't going nowhere. So I've got to buy parts for this, so I'll be replacing these as well. Not the end of the world, but I tell you what a job it is to get these apart when things have been together for a while and this seized up. Here's a closer look. This is one of the keys that hold the rod on. I had to literally take a chisel that was seized in there and get that popped out of the keyway that's in that shaft. Well, one thing nice of this apart, I can get all these degreased and cleaned. Here's the other side, that's all busted apart. Well, that's where we're going to wrap up in this disassembly here, this restoration of this 1944 9N brake job. I'm going to have some time spent here degreasing parts, getting stuff prepped. I'm going to take these brake arms and rods and get these things all sandblasted and cleaned up so we can get those primered and looking good for we put it back together. I'm going to have to order some parts and get those coming for this, and that's going to be a few days out before I see those. So we'll come back together in another video and we'll put this thing back together. I hope you all enjoyed this video and this teardown of this, and I hope to see you in our next video. Take care, everyone.